And Studio Web believes that learning code is essential to your child's education. There are benefits to it. And here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Stefan Mashuk. He's the president of Studio Web. How are you?
I'm very good today. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. First of all, when it comes to describe what is code exactly?
Coding is writing written instructions to tell computers what to do. So the computer could be your home computer, it could be your laptop, it could be your thermostat.
Right.
Everything's run by code these days, so it's really important. It's all part of life.
For those of us that aren't tech savvy, like myself, I think it's intimidating when you hear code and writing code. Is it fairly easy to pick up on a beginner's level?
Yeah, if it's taught properly, it is. It just has to be broken down, because at the end of the day, the instructions that code provides to its computers, they're just very simple instructions.
Right.
So it's like, you know, if somebody clicks on a button, do this. If they drag on the screen, do that. But you just got to learn it step by step.
I mentioned in the introduction that it's a benefit for children to learn it in their curriculum at school, even starting from kindergarten and right through CEGEP. What are the benefits?
Well, there's two benefits, two big benefits. The obvious one is the jobs opportunities. There's a huge amount of jobs that are now available. Like, I have a terrible time trying to find good coders.
Really?
It's very, very difficult. And that's why one of the reasons the TPP deal is being pushed is because they want to try to bring in coders from around the world,
right,
because there's just not enough supply. And this is going to go on for decades, apparently, according to studies. In addition to that, so what about the students who don't want to become coders and may not become coders?
Right.
There's tremendous, I call it brain training advantage to learning to code. You learn organizational skills, problem-solving skills. You learn to work with other people, collaborate. So there's
right,
a lot of benefits. You know, last thing I like to point out is just you become much more aware. You become much more of a digital citizen, if you will. So it's a lot more difficult to, for instance, scam somebody who knows coding, right?
Yeah, of course. So it makes a lot of sense.
You're protecting the people.
So how have you gone about implementing it then in schools? Have they been fairly open to it when you approached them?
We were actually approached about 6 years ago. I built the prototype. I've been teaching code since 2003, but dealing with the private market, just individuals producing video courses, online training, and so forth. So we were approached about 5 years ago by a couple of schools in the States, because we had built a prototype for a system which is now Studio Web. So we said, okay, let's go with it. And since that time, we worked with that school and many other schools now, and to learn how to do it properly. Because when you're teaching middle school, elementary school, high school, it's very different from teaching adult learners.
How is it different?
Well, you have to break down the material in a simpler way. We'll give you one example. We have the YouTube generation today, so they have very short attention spans, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So we used to have videos that were like 10 minutes long. It's video-based. They watch a video, they get quizzed, they interact with the system's tracking all their performance and their inputs. Okay. So if they had videos that are longer than 6-7 minutes, they would just start falling asleep. So that's just one thing we had to do. We had to shorten the videos. And, you know, to figure all this stuff out, we're dealing with many, many schools. And, like, we've even flown down, spent a day or two sitting in the classrooms, watching how the students interacted with the systems and so on. So it's a lot of it's psychology.
Right.
Understanding psychology of the learner.
If parents are watching right now and they'd like to see their school implement teaching code, can they, you know, sort of talk to their school, to the principal, to teachers, and encourage them to get in touch with you?
That's what I would suggest. You see, Canada is just starting to look at this now, but like if you look at the UK, France, they've mandated code. It's core curriculum.
Really?
It's reading, writing, math, code, because they see the value. Even President Obama started an initiative about 1.5 years ago in the U.S., and the White House has spearheaded this big initiative. Yeah. And they have these schools now, these leagues of schools, these districts. Like, we're hooked up with one. They're called the League of Innovative Schools, and they have about 3 million students in total. And they're looking at new ways to integrate code into the classroom, and they're trying to figure all this out.
Well, you've obviously told us that so many benefits available out there for students. We really appreciate you spending time with us this morning. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
All right.